Hi, I'm Kate, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Washington State, and this is an additional August 2020 paper pumpkin alternative that I am casing from Sun Stamping, Sun, S-U-N-N Stampin'. I will put a link to her YouTube video for this particular card in my description so that you can link to her directly. She is a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I definitely cased her card, and I want to make sure she gets credit, but I just had to share it with those of you that follow me as well, and encourage you to go to her blog and check it out. So this is the card I'm going to make, and obviously she has a video up for it as well, but I did a couple of things, very slight things different. So let me show you what I did. I used a piece of Whisper White Thick cardstock and just created a standard A2 card base, 5.5 by 4 1/4. And when you cut it, it's originally 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 to make the base card. Then I used one of the cards that was in the kit, one of these, and I cut 3/4 of an inch off the edge. And I am going to find it and attach it to the bottom edge of the card. Just like this. And it just lines up exactly with the bottom and goes all the way across, just like that. And I'm putting it on first because then that helps me know where to place my wreath. Makes it a little bit easier. Okay, then what Suzanne did and what I'm going to show you is she used a sponge and she colored these leaf stems that are in the kit with a sponge and Pacific Point and mint macaron. I'm going to use my brushes and basically do the same thing she did. I'm going to color them, and I've got all of them done, but I'm just going to show you one pair. You might want to use something like this, because if you see my fingers and they look dirty, it's because they're inky. And so that's the Pacific Point one. And then I turned this one over and also inked the back because I wanted it very dark. And so this just gives it even more of an opaque blue color. So that's a little bit different maybe than what she did. I didn't watch every little second of her videos. I'm not holding on to it very well, am I? And so there's pull it off to the side where you can see the color. And I do have a right and a wrong side because I'm going to put these on the card in a different way. So there's that. And then this one is the mint macaron. And I only colored one side of it because it had enough color to suit me. And this regular ink on the vellum does take a little bit of time to dry. And so, like I say, you might want to hold them in place with something so you don't get your fingers all inky like I have done. You can see. And another trick is the heat tool has 2 settings, and you can go to the low setting so it doesn't get too crazy. And you can actually help them dry just a little bit faster by heat tooling them here, just so you can see that being done. And then I wanted some shimmer, and Suzanne always seems to use Wink of Stella, but for some reason she didn't on this particular card, but I am going to. And so I am going to use some Wink of Stella, and I am going to just wink this entire, all 4. There's 4 of each. 4 of the Pacific Point and 4 of the mint macaron stems. So I used 4 stems on each one. Don't worry about the brush strokes when you're putting this wink on here. It will make some brush strokes because it messes with the ink a little bit. Again, I'm going to get my holder here. When it dries, they don't show. So just so you know. And so then that gives that a really pretty shimmer, and you can put on as much or as little as you want, just like that. So that'll give them a shimmer, and you'll see that when I start putting it together with the ones that I set aside, got it done ahead of time and made sure they were dry. So when we start building, they'll already be dry. On the backs of these, to mount them, I used the little very thin glue dots that are in the kit, and I save all of these when I don't use them all. So I have a little carton full of them, and I have put one on the backs of each of these leaves. Now you would think that this would show, but when it gets done, you won't be able to see them. It's going to look really, really nice. So I'm going to bring back my card front, and I'm going to put the lighter colored ones down first, and I'm just creating a little bit of a wreath look. So just going to press them into place, and they're going to overlap so that they will fit on the card. There really isn't a right or a wrong way to do this. It's just whatever you want it to look like. So there's that base, and then here come the Pacific Point ones that have the Wink of Stella on them. This part goes really fast once you get all the pieces together. Goes pretty quickly. And they're not raised up. I didn't raise them up or anything. I left them all the same, kind of flat, with just like that. And there they are. Isn't that lovely? Then I did stamp the sentiment from the kit. This calls for a celebration. I'm going to mount it over the center with some dimensionals. And those. And I'm going to put this right here. And then Suzanne also added some of these gold stars that are in the kit as well. And so basically you could make this card from your kit only. Now, I do have something to share with you, and that is that I am a Silhouette Cameo electronic cutter owner. And I was able to take one of these leaf stems. I sacrificed one of these leaf stems, and I colored it black with one of my black blends pens. And then I scanned it, and I took it and put it into my Silhouette, and I created a cut file so that I could make more of these leaf stems. And for my own personal use, I could make more of them and make more cards. You could do this with some fall colors very easily as well. So I'm just going to pour out a few of these stars because they're so cute. And I used, because this vellum is non-porous, basically you're going to have some kind of a glue that will work. Your regular Tombow glue and that won't hold on here. So I am using just a touch of my, way too much of a touch, of my Crystal Effects. I got a little carried away there, but that's okay. And I just would grab a little bit with the tip of my pen and just put a dot wherever I wanted to put a star. And they don't have to all go on leaves. Some could go in other places. I'll do about 4 of them here, and then get my pick tool and pick up the star, and then I use my other tool to make it let go, just like this. Press them down into that. Now the little mini glue dots might work for these as well. I didn't try that. I just wanted to know they would stick and not be falling off somewhere along the way. So, and I know that this Crystal Effects will do that. I don't know if that's still available in the catalog or not. I use it for a lot of this kind of thing. So Anyway, this was one of my favorite cards that Suzanne did. She always does very creative and beautiful choices. I always go to hers, even though I try to make my own alternatives, which that video is already up. But I just can't resist going and seeing what she has put together, because she always inspires me. So I do want you to be sure and check her out. We can't buy from Canada, so I don't feel like I'm stealing from her. And if you aren't in Canada and would like to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, I do alternatives every month, and you can still go and case Suzanne's for your own personal use as well. Let's see, where else do I need a star? Well, let's try that and see if that's enough. I hope I'm getting that in the picture. I hope I'm not making you miss it. And like that. Someday I'm going to learn how to do voiceovers like she does, but for now. So there you go. And you could add more stars. I think it maybe needs at least one or two more right here and right here. I like lots of stars. Stars upon bars. Here we go. Dr. Seuss. And one more. There, and you could add more if you wanted to. So that is the card. It's really a little bit of prep, but once you've got the stuff prepped, it goes together very quickly, and it is an absolutely striking card. And that Wink of Stella just makes a huge difference in the look of that card. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will visit Suzanne's site as well. Follow the link that's in my description. And thanks for stopping by.